Video 3!
Woo! In this video we'll be discussing the press and peel method as well as the pre-sensitized copper-clad circuit boards.
Yep. While we're doing this, remember the engineer's triangle. And I'd like to point something out. In this video, Mac is not wearing a Weber State shirt.
I'm not. Alright, in this method we're using a sheet of the press and peel blue, which we've printed our circuit board onto the dull side with a laser jet printer. Be very careful that you print on the dull side of it. And then we have our clean circuit board and an iron that we've set to polyester heat.
Okay, you see here's our piece of press and peel blue. We have it face up, and you notice we used a laser printer and we printed on the dull side. The area that the circuit board is going to print, we were very, very careful not to touch it. We cleaned off our circuit board here, and I acetoned it off to get all the skin off, or all the skin oil off of it. You can also use denatured alcohol. You notice this time I'm using rubber gloves because when we did the Oracal on the last video, we found out that there was fingerprints all over it, and that's why it turned out so bad. I don't want this to happen on the press and peel blue. So I am going to line this upside down and use that high heat tape I used on an Oracal last time to hold it in place. And then what I'm going to do, take my iron and iron it on. Okay, here I have my press and peel blue. I got my circuit board taped down underneath it, and you can see the glossy side is up. The glossy side is the side that we're going to iron here. I got the iron set on polyester. No steam, no water, just heat. And we're going to set it down here and we're going to press it on here. And I'm going to do the whole video here. If it gets too boring, then I guess what I'll do is I'll just speed up the video so you don't have to see it. But there is a certain look to this when it's done. And remember, I have it on polyester heat, ironing it with pressure. And you can see how it's starting to come through. Supposedly what I've been told is the whole thing will show up in here. You'll be able to see the whole thing through the glossy sheet. And that's what I'm trying to get. You can see it's getting a little better. I've also been told a lot of people use laminators with this. I do have a laminator, but in case you don't have a laminator, I wanted to use an iron. But you can actually see how this is starting to look. You can see the circuit board on top. Over here in the corner, I think we need a little bit more heat. Maybe here and here we need a little bit more heat. But this is pretty much what I was told it was going to look like. So we're going to keep this going and get the heat on it. Once this is heated, we're going to immerse this in a tub of cold water, and we're going to get it cold. But like we've said before, electricity and water do not mix. And I think actually that we're almost there. If you look really close at this circuit board, you can see the whole circuit board coming through, which I think is what we want to see. Now the videos I've seen of this press and peel blue, this stuff seems to work great, and it seems to work a lot better than that Oracal stuff where you had to fix it. You know, remembering the engineering triangle, these sheets are about $5 a piece. Your circuit board is about $5 a piece, so you're in $10 per circuit board. Alright, that looks done. This is what it looks like on the videos I've seen. It's looking pretty good, so what I'm going to do, unplug my iron. Remember, water and electricity do not mix. And we're going to take this and we're going to immerse it into the water. until it cools off. And we're going to leave that in there for just a couple minutes. Okay guys, I think this has been in the water here long enough. Taking my gloves off because I don't need them anymore. We're going to set this here. Get the sheet of press and peel out. I'm going to take this tape off. And we are supposed to, at this point, slowly peel the paper off. Wow, look at that. That is high quality, guys. That is really, really nice. I think what happened here was on these ends right here where it hasn't come off. I probably had water or dirt or something in there. I believe this is probably because the board was not cleaned very well. But you can see it is a nice job. I think with a little practice and with a little surgical cleanliness, you're going to end up with a really nice board. So all I'm going to do here to fix this, I got some bleed over on some traces here. Got some bleed over here a little bit of bleed over here. I know that will scrape off easy with an X-Acto knife. Clean this area up with my Sharpie pins, and I'm talking like, what, 30 seconds? A minute or so?
In this method, we're using the pre-sensitized copper-clad circuit boards. Your circuit board will look something like this, and then once you remove the white sheet, it'll look kind of like this. And then from there, what you'll need is a transparency of your circuit, a clean sheet of glass. We put some tape around the edges so we can hold it there. And that will hold down your circuit. And then a light, a UV light. Wes bought this particular fixture at a yard sale for $1 and then bought the bulb at Walmart for about $5. It's just a standard plant bulb. Works great. Alright, so first we're going to start this with our circuit board. We're using one that hasn't developed because usually this is done in the dark or with a red light, because if you have a light on like these, they will start to actually develop on your circuit board. So to avoid that, we're using one that hasn't developed. What we'll do is we'll begin by laying our transparency down on top of it as carefully as we can and making sure it's facing the right way. And then getting that sheet of clean glass and laying it over it to keep it flat. Then we'll set the bulb centered over it, and then from there you want to expose it for about 30 minutes to an hour, but no more than that.
Okay guys, we've exposed our board. It's now in the developer. You see my developer is a little dirty because I've used it on quite a few circuit boards in the past. What you want to do is you want to just slosh it around in here, and you can see it starting to develop. So you got to be patient. Sometimes it can take up to 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, this solution is a photo developer is what it is. Just follow the instructions that come with it. There's the photo developer, and if you look real close, you can actually see it starting to develop now. I'll hold it up so you guys can see it. It's starting to come out. And we're going to put it back in the developer some more, and we're just going to slosh it around. You notice I'm using gloves. I'm not really sure what this developer is. I asked the manufacturer and he wouldn't tell me. But you can see it's really starting to develop now. So you just keep sloshing this on there. until the areas that are clear are clear. Now, I'll be honest with you, if you leave this board in the developer too long, it will wipe everything off. If you don't leave it in long enough, your traces won't develop either. So it's a little bit of an art. How I like to do it is I like to put it in until I think it's done, and then I leave it in for just a little bit longer. And what I'm really interested in is getting these traces done. And you'll notice I'm just sloshing it over it. And you'll notice the more I do it, the cleaner it starts to look. So I'm just going to keep sloshing it here. And you'll notice it's getting clearer and clearer as we do it with this developer. So I think I think we're about done. One of the things I do, you see these words I put here on the time? I put my name, Mac's name. I put some words on there, Weber State, and I put the words in there really, really thin. And when those words actually start disappearing, that's when we know we're done. So the next step is to take that bucket of water I put the press and peel with, just dunk it in there just to stop the developing process. That press and peel blue, that stuff is really, really hardy. Mac and I were dragging our finger over it, and it worked really good. This stuff right here is really, really fragile. It is really easy to rub some of this off, but if you look at it right now, you'll notice it is ready to etch. It is ready to go. We don't have to do anything to it. This process is a little bit more expensive. Each one of these boards are about $4 a piece. Then you have to buy the developer, the laser printer, the transparencies, the UV light. But as you can see, it's fairly accurate. It took us about an hour to make this. And that's it for this board, and we are going to etch it on the next video.
Video 3.
Finito. In this video, we referenced our engineering triangle, and we discussed the press and peel blue method as well as our pre-sensitized copper clad circuit boards.
Right. On a pre-sensitized PCB, you notice we spent the most money, got a UV light, we got the board, we got the developer, we had to print out a transparency, but what we ended up with was a product that was ready to etch right out of the get-go. There was no scraping, there was no using Sharpies or anything like that. On the press and peel blue, we spent a little bit less money than the pre-sensitized, and what we ended up is with a circuit board that took about 5 minutes to fix. Now we have all three of these boards. We have the Oracal, the press and peel blue, and the pre-sensitized. Next video, we're going to show you how to etch with ferric chloride. We're going to etch all three boards to show you that all three processes work great. So we'll see you guys around campus. Have fun etching your boards.
Bye!